Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And of course, my regular partner in crime, Michael's back this week.
Talk to me.
And obviously, because Aman was here last week, and obviously Aman's a Chelsea fan, I was talking about the final. Didn't get to hear your thoughts on it. And I know you're quite happy with what Aman came on and had to say.
Yeah, I thought we made some astute points, man. Me
Yeah.
and him, we got similar
The Liverpool
IQ.
hate you got on board with.
Spot on. Spot on.
But yeah, we got a 3-horse title race.
Yeah.
And we've also got a 3-horse race in our FPL league.
It's heating up. Is that what you're saying?
It's heating up.
On and off the...
Tell Ivy I'm coming. Ivy listens to this, right?
Yeah.
You know the Kevin Keegan thing? They better go there and get something. Ivy better be getting 60 points every week from now on, man, because I'm coming.
Level on points, to be fair, it's got to be said. I thought from
same amount of points.
This time last week, I thought it was looking long for you.
Yeah. I saw Michael on Saturday, and he was telling me, man, Ivy just keeps green arrow.
Yeah, that's what he keeps telling me.
but
I need you definitely to do the things, go the distance, pause.
Yeah,
because I can't have him win everything, man. For real.
And shout out Louis as well. Louis is 1 point behind both of us, so yeah, that's going to be an interesting end to the season there as well. I saw Wivey backed Odegaard, which fair play.
Yeah, do you know what? It's sad because I took Odegaard out of my team as well.
Yeah.
And it's not been the same since.
I should have just left Odegaard in.
Odegaard and Watkins are the two people I regret taking out the most.
Yeah.
Like that. And I brought Haaland in and I've captained him and he's not got me. He's so frustrating. I'm not going to lie as an FPL guy. Because it's like, yeah, he scores.
Yeah, but he should have had more.
Yeah, but for the last 3 or 4 weeks, Saka's like, usually
yeah.
If you captain Saka, you'd be getting...
Thank God Saka came off at half time.
Yeah.
Because 2
You're
assists
telling
in
me.
that first half. You know he was going to get his.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Haaland, talking about him letting you down, maybe one of the misses of the season.
Yeah,
nobody
for
could
real.
believe. I was in shock that he missed from there. But Manchester Derby, Man City versus Man United. And before we actually get onto the game, because I know Man United took the lead and whatever, but some people are saying that this derby is now as inevitable as the Merseyside derby.
No. That Merseyside derby is piss.
You turn up and you just know City are just going to dominate.
Like, at least Ten Hag, hasn't he won a Manchester derby last year?
He did win one.
You feel me? Like that Merseyside derby. You know, I was watching...
But Ollie's padding those stats, you know. Versus Pep City, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is padding those stats.
Ollie's got a decent big game record. Remember that whole theme of like when Ollie's job was on the line?
Yeah.
Rashford's on 9.
Job on the line, Ollie.
Yeah.
Different.
But I think I was watching on YouTube like the top 10 like strangest goals or whatever. That whole Origi, Pickford under the bar. When stuff like that happens. You know, there's just not like, in the 90 whatever minute. Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean they haven't beaten. I mean Everton haven't beaten Liverpool at Goodison since I think Mikel Arteta was playing. So
let's be serious.
So yeah, I mean
but I feel
in recent time because at Old Trafford, I remember saying before the game, Man City will just go there and teach them a lesson. They won 3-0. It was light work for them, and even in this game, I know, and we'll talk about it because Marcus Rashford with an absolutely world-class goal, world-class moment.
100.
7 minutes into the game after releasing a statement midweek. And we spoke about that, and I said, look, I'm a Rashford fan, but I said, brother, how about some goals?
Did.
The statements are cool, but I just want the goals. Like, if you perform on the pitch, you say whatever you want off the pitch. But as a fan, you just need your players to perform on the pitch. And you said this is when the best Rashford comes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Marcus Rashford and statements go hand in hand. He's one of those athletes that's like, oh, the world's against me. Yeah. Even if everybody's cheering him on, he's going to do the whole...
If you back me, good.
Yeah, exactly.
If you doubt me, better.
That's his whole thing. It's like you have to put the Batman signal up. He's like, if the world's against me, I'm gonna show you. So as soon as Marcus Rashford, as soon as Marcus Rashford starts making these statements about like, oh, I know how much I love, you don't know what I do for this city, my mom. I just know he's going to score on the weekend.
Manchester's in my blood.
Yeah, exactly. I just know he's going to score on the weekend.
But I mean, to score the way,
but has to be said. And that's another reason why I think this derby is still somewhat more relevant than the Merseyside derby. And don't get me wrong, the Merseyside derbies had screamers, but very rarely does it happen in that fashion of like the star Everton guy.
But I cannot imagine an Everton player going to Anfield.
That's what I'm saying.
And
whacking it top bid from 30 against the runner play with everybody on his back.
First 10 minutes of the game.
Like it just doesn't happen like that. So, but I mean, I got to give Marcus Rashford credit for that goal and that specific moment alone. But I thought the rest of the game, man, he left a lot to be desired. And it's not just him. You can't even single him out because he did his thing. Like he was the star man. He produced a star moment, and the whole team didn't really play well. But I just thought when you set the tone like that and you put the team on your back, at least carry them another 5-10 yards. Come on, you don't just drop them.
I think because there's been a lot of talk about Rashford scored that goal, but then he went missing for the rest of the game and whatever. But I think the chance that he has when he takes a bad touch, he tries to head it down. That's poor, and he should do better. And even on Man City's first goal, he goes down a bit easy. But if my player scores a goal like that in the first 10 minutes of the derby away from home, it's not a case of he has a free ride for the rest of the game. Still needs to track back, still needs to do everything. But bro, you've kind of done your job.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If we go to Tottenham and Martinelli scores a goal like that, he almost has a free ride for the rest of the game.
And I hear you from a fan's perspective, and like I also agree that when you produce a moment of that much quality, it's up for everybody else to raise their levels.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I just think and this is not the game to kill Marcus Rashford as well. Like he's played a lot worse football matches than what he played this season alone, than what he played on Sunday. But I just thought, and maybe it's more a general point about Man United's forwards. Like I know they're trying to play counter-attacking football, but I just thought they didn't protect the ball at all really well. And like even in those moments when they could have,
they didn't counter-attack.
Like they weren't going to have a lot of possession. We know that it's Man City. They have better quality players, all the rest. But there are these moments when you can win a 50-50 or when you do win a 50-50 and they try and push the ball forward. And it's just every time amounted to nothing or no sustained 2 or 3 moments where you're like, oh, they could go through type of thing. I just thought none of them really, Bruno included, all of these guys Garnacho didn't really protect the ball. And it was so frustrating to watch, even though they went 1-0 up at half time. I did have this inevitability of like, there's no way that they can keep.
Especially Man United are not going to keep a clean sheet at the Etihad.
Yeah.
They're one of the worst teams defensively.
I think there's this crazy stat of like how many games Man City have scored there. And like it was like, I think they said it was like Crystal Palace in like 2019 or something. It's the last time they haven't scored at home.
Because from my memory, I can't remember a team going there and keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
But I think for Man United and on that point, obviously, and to be fair, I think Erik ten Hag got the team, his starting lineup right. I think playing McTominay as like a false 9, but basically having an extra midfield player in there worked.
Yeah.
Because McTominay just tried to man-mark Rodri and tried to keep Rodri out of the game for as long as possible. But I think that was almost, and some United fans have said this, that United team, I think that was their max that they could play.
That they could have done.
Yeah.
Well,
which is even worse than the first derby when I was like, this was just a pathetic performance. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, this is the best I think that Man United could have played at the Etihad, and they still were miles off it.
Look, I agree that what we've been saying about Man United all season is, what I've been saying about Man United all season is like, I don't know how they keep doing it. Like, I don't know how you can lose 11 games and still be fighting for something.
11 losses in the league.
It's crazy. So I think that we've always said that they just win these individual moments in these matches. Like, they're the worst team in the games that they win. And this is them getting found out. Like, even in this derby, Rashford had a moment of individual brilliance, but then City had like ×3 moments of individual brilliance with Foden's goal, Foden's second goal. Well, and then Amrabat, I guess. Like what's left to be said? Yeah, but I think they did max out. They had a moment of individual brilliance that in many of their winning streaks would have won them the game. Yeah, if they were playing any other team, they would have just won that game 1-0 with a Rashford screamer.
Maybe Rashford takes their second chance and they go 2-0 up and they hold out or whatever.
So I think that's what Ten Hag is sort of that seems to be his plan, is to like try and conjure up these moments where his players can win their one-on-ones, like almost like an NBA game. Like just beat your man in this moment of individual brilliance.
Plan,
it's not that's the only plan that has consistently got them to where they are.
Yeah,
that's the only thing, that's the only pattern you can see.
But I don't know if that's a plan or if that's just players like
I think
fairly good players turning up here and there.
Yeah, that's the only way I can justify how Man United performed, because we were all hoping and rooting for Man United to win in this game, and it was a free hit. Yeah, for the title race.
I was quite happy for them to get slapped.
If they was gonna get slapped, I needed it to be 6.
Yeah.
But I just feel that when you see a team consecutively have no idea or have no identity of how they want to sort of attack teams with possession, who don't play with possession, like I just knew that is Ten Hag's plan. It's just hope Bruno, hope Rashford, hope Garnacho can
turn up with something.
Yeah, beat in one exchange, beat their man. Hope Dallo can put that one ball in the box that can win us the football match.
Which when you go to the Etihad, I think that's a valid tactic.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if,
and that's
obviously not in the same way. We'll try and have more of the ball, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mikel Arteta hopes that Martinelli or Saka or Odegaard or Trossard has one moment against Ake or Walker or whoever it is, and we take that moment. But the issue is that I think you're alluding to is that's Man United's tactic. Whoever they play,
whether the team has possession like Man City, whether the team doesn't have possession,
they played the same way against Fulham.
Yeah, teams with more quality or less quality than them, like they just hope that it can ricochet off Bruno twice and go into the back of the net.
Yeah, just playing on vibes.
And that's why you have 11 losses.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to kill United too much because I thought they did better than I expected. Like, I thought it was going to be 5 or 6.
Yeah. But if Rashford doesn't score that goal, what does that game look like?
Yeah, yeah. As we were saying, John Stones and the triangles and
the rotation. Yeah, the Bernardo Silva, by the way.
The jigsaw puzzles.
But yeah, on that point, we'll move it on to Man City because they obviously deserve their praise. And what's looking like it's going to be people already saying it's going to be one of the best title races we've seen.
Yeah.
And it looks like 3 teams that are not giving up any points really. But at the start of the season, I asked Phil Foden to step up. I said, look, Gundogan's gone. Mahrez is gone.
It's true.
These players are Doku's new transfer.
Yeah.
We'll speak on Doku.
Yes, I thought, yes.
Because some man had him in their top 10 wingers list over guys like Pedro Neto and these kind of ballers. Yeah, so we'll speak on that. But Phil Foden, man, not only has he turned up this year, partly because Pep is also just giving him a lot more minutes.
Yeah,
so I think he started almost every game. But he's deciding the big games, and we spoke a bit off air that Foden's kind of almost been doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in a game where Haaland's not firing, De Bruyne's not really on his thing, Phil Foden steps up and he scores twice. The first goal, unbelievable goal. Second goal's a good finish and takes the Manchester Derby in his own hands and wins the game.
Yeah, no, Foden is it's serious and he's seizing the moment. And in Pep's teams, it's incredibly hard to seize the moment because of how high the standard is.
Yeah.
And so Foden, for him to live up to it, I mean, he's been through it. He's seen David Silva and all these guys. So I guess he knows what it looks like, but still to do it yourself and to have the output. Because you can play well in the Man City team and not have the output. Yeah. Like there's been games where Grealish has played well but not scored or assisted.
Bernardo Silva.
Exactly, Bernardo Silva. But so to see Foden that just pin down and, as you say, take over the mantle from Gundogan and Mahrez and say, I'm going to provide these clutch time moments. He's had that in his career, man. We've said that even before when he was on less minutes and he was rotating with all of these world-class guys, Foden was still playing the bigger games for Manchester City and was still scoring or assisting versus Liverpool and United before. So it's both a surprise and not a surprise to see Foden play this well. Like, we know he's super talented. We know he's top 2, top 3 English talents right now.
Some people saying ever.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he's one of those guys. Yeah, if he plays the way he plays, when he finishes in 10 years' time or whatever, you're gonna be like, he's won 8,
I think
9
he's got 5 Prems
already. That's what I'm saying. He could have 3 or 4
treble
Champions
winner.
Leagues.
Yeah.
Like, he could finish with everything to say that he is the best English player ever. And you can't even say that he's not been instrumental or played his part in all of those Prems that he's won. Maybe the first one. Maybe the first one. Yeah.
But I mean, he was 17, 18, so I'm not expecting him to.
But do you know what I think about Foden? I think that, and I know a lot of it is media driven, like the competition between Foden and Saka. But I do think on some level he hears it and does want to not prove that he's better than Saka, but because when Saka scores 3 goals, all fans are like, how could you ever mention Foden's name with I think there is that little bit of like friendly competition.
I think they both probably have that.
That's 100%. And I think that's both what's driving them. And I think, like, you see how there's always that rude Van Nistelrooy used to sort of sit at the back of the bus and see if Thierry Henry scored type of thing. I think Foden and Saka are doing that, trying to finish with more goals and assists than each other this season. I think that's going to push them forward, both of them, to be better players, to be more hungry, to be more driven. You'll see more of Foden and Saka, 2-stepping guys, ducking their shoulder twice and putting in top pins because they want to outscore each other. And it's blessed for Man City, man. I'm not gonna lie. Pep, he's done it. Guys were saying, they should sell Foden because he's not getting minutes or he's not using him right. And Pep was like, just be patient. And
yeah. I think, and the other thing on Pep, like we could do a whole podcast on Pep Guardiola, right? Because
and player development,
just what he's done for English football,
right?
Let alone like, bro, like I said, I've been watching more Championship, The Championship now, I think even Balassi said this on
he did.
The Championship now compared to what the Championship was 10 years ago.
Yeah, so people are trying to play football down there now.
Exactly. And look, I'm not. I can only speculate. Yeah. But I would say Pep Guardiola is a massive influence, even for teams in the Premier League. Look how many teams in the Premier League press high, play out. There's not many teams in the Prem that just try and do the long ball thing. And
for Burnley to stick to that philosophy, knowing that they don't have the quality of players to potentially stay up, shows you the dedication that Pep has instilled to like English football, of like, this is the way to play football.
And I think if England win, or if England are successful in the next 2 or 3 tournaments, Pep Guardiola should get a medal. because in that team you're gonna have Phil Foden, who's going to be one of the star players. You're going to have Cole Palmer, who's technical. Kyle Walker's technical ability's gone up. John Stones, look at what he's going to do in that team. Like, Pep has made these guys players they are, and has given them the capacity to go and play in these big games. But I think, and look, people questioned Pep last year when he sold Jesus and Zinchenko. People questioned Pep again when he sold Gundogan and Mahrez. Have they weakened and whatever? But look, man,
they're gonna get the
Pep Guardiola's always got a plan. He's always got a plan.
I mean, how could you not think so? Him and Arteta included, people who wear black turtlenecks that frequently have to be psychopaths. Yeah. So you can bet your bottom dollar that he's got a plan.
But as much as Pep deserves his credit, I'm not sure what that Pep plan is saying without Rodri.
Man.
And we did our mid-season awards and we gave player of the season and whatever. Did you give it to Rice? Or did you give it to Rodri? I gave it to Trent. I was considering Van Dijk, which, to be fair, man,
don't.
It's getting close.
Don't let that Mickey Mouse trophy fool you.
It's getting closer, man. Clean sheets on clean sheets.
Don't let that Mickey Mouse trophy fool you.
But I think, to be honest, I don't think you can really look past Rodri.
I mean, he hasn't lost the game, has he?
Exactly. I think, was it 53 or 50, something like that. 50, 53 or 59 Premier League games unbeaten.
2 assists just in this Manchester Derby. Just like
And I'm just, bro, when I watch Rodri play, well, he's an unbelievable footballer.
It's not. it's not. And again, as you said, it comes back to like you can do a whole podcast on Pep. Because Rodri, first season Rodri, yeah, we knew he was a baller from Atletico. We knew he was probably tidy and
Bit suspect.
we knew he was like technician. He didn't play much in his first season. Guys were like, what was the point? You know, Fernandinho.
When they got to that Champions League final against Chelsea, Rodri was on the bench.
Yeah. Of what guys were saying, how they were going to replace Fernandinho. You know, we have given Fernandinho so many flowers, and he does deserve them because he was a baller too.
So yeah.
But yeah, I don't think anybody can have thought that Rodri would ever push to these levels. Like, and obviously, man, kudos to Pep, but Rodri is a Swiss Army knife in that midfield.
Pep's not telling him to do some of the things he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Rodri can honestly take the ball like on the half turn as a number 10.
Yeah.
In tight situation, like
that's the problem. Now.
That's the problem
because it's almost like Rodri's gone. Yeah, this 6 role, that's a bit easy. Like I can do that like too easily now. So I'm gonna start involving myself as an 8 and a 10 with goals and assists and helping out the front line and the forward players. And it's just his ability to get the ball in any situation and find a pass.
And relieve the pressure.
Yeah. Left foot, right
Take on
foot.
the pressure and then relieve the pressure. And keep it moving.
It's ridiculous.
Man. And I said this earlier this season, because from pre-season when Rodri started getting his head on everything, Rodri adding goals and assists to his game is crazy. Because he could still be the best DM in the world with 0 GA.
Yeah.
He could be the best DM in the world, like unanimously.
But he's got 6 goals, 5 assists in the league.
You know what I'm saying? So Rodri adding these goals and assists to his game, and this like rebound, like ricochet at the edge of the area, one time finish, like one ball bounce shot that he does on either foot. It's cash money. How many of his goals this season are just that finish?
Yeah.
Like him lurking like a shark.
2 against Chelsea.
Yeah.
1 against Shef U.
Come on. I think he's a seriously supreme footballer, man, and the intelligence that you need to be a 6 in Pep's system, it's probably, he has like 3D visions of the game or 4D enhancements.
And he's 26? 27?
Yeah. It's crazy. And you see the gulf and difference between him and even people like, Casemiro and Amrabat who played at a high level, gone to World Cup, well, not World Cup finals, sorry. Champions League finals and gone to World Cup semi-finals and all this kind of stuff, quarterfinals. It's like, damn, Rodgers is still levels.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I've always said this before, that whoever wins the league, I think the player of the year should come from that team because they've been the best team in the league. I think if City win the league, I think Foden's in with a shout. But I think it might have to be Rodri, just because you look at what that team does without Rodri.
Yeah.
And they've lost almost every game. And if it's Liverpool, it could be Van Dijk, it could be Trent, it could be whoever. But if it's Arsenal, and we'll move on to Arsenal now, there's a multitude of players that it could be. Either of the centre backs, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka. But Monday night away at Shef U, people might think that this was silly, but I was a bit nervous. Arsenal fans might understand that though.
Yeah.
Because, I can never fully
Monday night.
Arsenal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've been there.
I remember when we went there under Unai Emery.
I remember the Crystal Palace. I remember the Crystal Palace last year.
Yeah.
It was just a weak, timid performance.
Yeah. Horrible. Injuries galore. And then when Saka hit the crossbar in the first minute, and then Havertz missed that chance, the ball comes across, I was like,
"Oh yeah, we're gonna kill him.
We need to score.
That relieved any and all tension when they started with that intensity.
Because we started right, and that's one thing that this Arsenal team will do, is they'll go out there, and especially since maybe the Liverpool game, this Arsenal team, when they from the kickoff, they are ready. Yeah, they're ready to pounce. There's an intensity.
Do you remember earlier on in the season, we weren't doing that? Do you remember last year, that was our whole thing? We would score in the first 5-10 minutes.
Flying out the blocks.
And then earlier on in the season, we were like, oh, we're slow starters these days. We're not, it's all about controlling possession and we're not getting shots on target. But yeah, recently there is this killer mentality. And I think there is a hunger and a desire to right the wrongs of last year, to not even let these, obviously last year we had these West Ham, Southampton games. I think the team have a desire to not even let these be competitions anymore. And like, if you see blood, if you see flesh, like literally go for it.
Yeah,
because this was done within 15 minutes.
First 15 minutes.
Like,
was
as
over.
much as you had that nervousness and everything,
Yeah.
previous Arsenal could have still been 1-up. We could have been playing great football, but been 1-up.
Yeah, it could end 3-3.
Yeah. Or like, we could have scored. It could have ended up 4-0, but we scored one goal every 20 minutes instead of scoring 3 goals in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, there is this ruthlessness that is being instilled.
And once the Arsenal team scores 3 goals, especially against a team like Shef U,
it's done.
Yeah,
it's done.
The way the defense is playing, but I mean, a couple of Arsenal players, Kai Havertz,
Havertz,
just same GA as Madison.
Yeah,
I'm just putting that out there.
Same goals as Xhaka last year.
I'm not saying that means anything, but I'm just putting that out there.
Same. I hear no more penalty goals than Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
they spoke on our gang.
I mean, and that finish,
serious.
Those are the kind of goals. You know this because I speak about. Those are the kind of goals I need more from this team.
Yeah,
where it's a half chance. Maybe.
Yeah, lasered though.
Buried, barely comes off the floor. Side netting. Great finish. I love those kind of goals.
I hear you.
Saka's one against Newcastle last week.
Yeah,
didn't get a chance to talk about that obviously, but those kind lasered into the bottom corner. I think that was probably the second best goal
of the game
because
there's only one man,
Benny Blanco.
Yeah, I mean another rifle, bottom bins.
Man, when Ben White starts getting the respect that he deserves,
you said this.
It's going to be a good day.
You know what? I always love the testament to professional football players when people who you don't necessarily think have a strong, weak foot just rifle one into the bottom. Yeah, just wrap one in, and they let you know the levels real quick. They don't use this all the time, but it is there upon request, or upon demand.
If Ben White's in that situation again from now to the end of the season, wrap it.
Yeah, I think I was just saying this to you off air. Like, the thing that is really impressing me with Mikel Arteta and his time at Arsenal is recently, I say recently, like the last 18 months, we have these like picture perfect days where like everything goes our way. Like, there isn't a bad thing to say about the performance. 6 goals, 6 different goal scorers,
and everything goes our way because of us, because of what we're doing. Like referee decisions or like because of what we're doing on the pitch.
Every time a mini narrative develops within the season, like later on in the season, we have these picture perfect days. Like, this was 6 open play goals.
Yeah.
Like no set piece goals. Like, we're, everybody jokes that we're set piece FC. I mean, obviously it's a poor Sheffield, has to be said. We know this. But as I said, there are these picture perfect days where it's like we come out, we do the business, everybody eats, your Kivio's getting no look assists. Like, Saka's coming off at half time.
Declan Rice picked up a goal.
Yeah, Declan Rice is moving.
Good finish.
Thomas Partey's coming on and getting minutes.
Partey cameo.
Like, there are these just picture perfect days, and we've had more than a few of them now. And big or small games, where it's like everything goes our way.
Away from home.
Yeah, Havertz has scored 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
You've seen his FPL scores recently.
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing him in, legit. But what do you think about that transition now? Because I am actually pretty interested. When they showed our bench and it was like Partey, Jesus, and I think somebody else, I was like, whatever happens, we need those guys to win us the trophies. That's how I feel personally. Trossard, yeah. I feel like we need those guys to win us the trophy. And obviously, we're playing great football with Kivio. We're playing great football with Jorginho in midfield. And I'm not saying that these guys should just drop to the bench immediately. But how do you think Arteta...
And that bench is missing Timber,
Zinchenko,
and Tommy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what do you think? How should Arteta play? What do you think about that transition between playing guys who've been playing football consistently and have good minutes in their legs, or we're going up a level with these games that we have next? Brentford's going to be tough, even though they've been poor this season. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, obviously. I know exactly what Brentford are going to come and do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then we have Porto and City. And it's like, in my mind, we play a different style of football with Jesus in there. I think it's less goal intensive, but there is a lot more industry or industrial work that gets
yeah.
done. How do you feel with the 9 position, or even just bringing other people in? Maybe Tomiyasu when he's back. Maybe do you think you go for a straight swap? Do you think you have 2 weeks? You train guys. Do you think Kivio should start versus like City if he plays well at Brentford?
I think well, obviously we saw some of the boys on the weekend, and Nick was asking what the best team would be.
Yeah.
And it is just completely game dependent. But for the Brentford game and the Porto game, I would keep it unchanged.
Yeah,
I'd keep it as it is.
Jorginho in there.
I think in both those games, Jorginho is going to be very necessary.
Mm.
And Partey had some nice moments, but he had some very rusty moments.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like you need to get minutes into his legs because I want Partey to start versus City.
If we go 3-4-0 up, Partey can get more minutes in the Brentford game, whatever. But I can't put him in
from the start.
Yeah,
no,
I risk a mistake and 1-0 down in either of those games. And I think Jorginho's earned his right to. I mean, he's been flawless since he come into the team.
But you know what's interesting is I think it's the first time Jorginho started back-to-back games for us.
Yeah.
So is he going to start 3 games in a row, considering that we play first on Saturday? That's what I'm saying. We have players who are coming back. We have players who need to find like Jesus needs a goal early. If we're going to do anything, Jesus needs to know that he can score goals in this period. So he needs a goal ideally versus Brentford or Porto to get his mentality right.
I think Jesus kind of knows that, man. Jesus has been there before.
No, I agree with you.
Premier League winner.
But the reason Kai's rapping it bottom bins is confidence. He's been playing football. He's been scoring goals. He doesn't even.
So let's not take that away from him.
Yeah, but that's what. But I think Jesus also needs confidence as well. You know, if we're gonna win the big trophies.
But look, last 10 games of the season, like, are you gonna start saying Fabio Vieira needs confidence?
No, but that's the difference. Now Fabio Vieira, he's not the guy that we've brought into. You know,
but, look, all those guys are gonna have to play their part.
Yeah,
because who knows? You could go away on an international break. Players could get injured and whatever. But I think this team, bro. Look, just look at the goals we're scoring, the way we're playing. I think if he does take Jorginho out to maybe rest him in the Brentford game and play him in the Porto game, you could put Thomas Partey in there and trust Thomas Partey with Declan Rice next to him, that even if he has a loose touch or is a bit lax on the ball or whatever. But I don't know if Arteta's going to take that risk.
I don't know if he'll take that risk.
It's not like Jorginho's played a lot of football this year either.
No, it isn't. But I think there's a reason for that. You know, and I think he is like trying to work his way through injuries / manage his minutes because he's an elderly gentleman. And I also think that personally that Partey, Rice, Odegaard is our best midfield.
Yeah. When fit.
And when not just physically fit but match fit as well. Yeah. And I feel as if I don't want...
Because for the last 6 months, based on that performance, Partey's been outside.
Oh, my gosh.
Partey's been outside.
Partey looked like he was running around in mud.
Yeah.
Never... But I can't blame him. He's been out for so long. But I don't want to see Thomas Partey, Rice, and Odegaard for the first time at Man City away.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like, and I agree that I don't think Partey can start and do 90 minutes.
But I think it's more important Jorginho plays in the Porto game then.
Oh, I agree. That's the thing. Because that's I agree that Jorginho has to play the Porto game. So that's what I'm saying now.
To be fair, Brentford set up in a 5-back. Maybe he might get more time on the ball. So
I just think that you have to give him minutes, competitive minutes, before Man City in some of these bigger games. Because I don't want to see that. I don't want the excuse to be, he's rusty. They've never played with each other before.
But to be honest, bro, I'm not that against
Jorginho starting at Man City. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So if he starts at Man City...
I think that could arguably help us quite a bit.
But that means he can't start Brentford. It means he can't start Porto.
No, but there's a 2-week gap though, isn't it?
Oh, true.
There's an international break.
True.
He'll have his time. And look, Jorginho started Man City at home. He started Man City away. I think, but...
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think Kai Havertz has to play as a number 9 in that Man City game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I've been saying this for a couple of weeks.
But Arteta's done that every time.
Yeah, apart from at home. Yeah. We're 2 of Jesus' biggest fans. We know what Jesus offers us. A lot of people doubting Jesus' quality, saying that him and Zinchenko should be sold in the summer.
No,
absolutely no way.
Also, that Jesus 20-minute cameo will be monster.
Yeah. Off the right wing or the left wing, and I think that's just to touch on Kai Havertz a bit more. I said after the Shef U game, Kai Havertz has undoubtedly made Arsenal a better team.
Yeah, no question.
You cannot deny that, because you ask most Arsenal fans in this current moment, when we go to Man City in the biggest game of the season, who's your number 9? Most Arsenal fans will tell you Kai Havertz. Which is crazy to think that we're in this position from at the start of the season. It would have just been Gabriel Jesus all the way, maybe Eddie, and now Kai Havertz has maybe eclipsed both of them.
But so I say two things. I agree with your point, and then I also say that fans are fickle. Like if Jesus plays and scores versus Brentford and scores versus Porto, especially if he scores a winner, guys are going to be like, yeah, he has to start versus City, and that's how football goes. And
I still wouldn't.
And I know, but I think Arteta would still play Havertz.
Yeah.
You know,
you need that option to go long.
Now, to your point, I think Havertz has undoubtedly made us a better team just for the sake of quality and depth. And like he's managed this time with Jesus out, with a couple of these other guys who we've had who are out injured. Like he's been an ever present person,
fit and available,
and the quality level hasn't dropped, and I think that deserves a lot of credit. But there's a lot of guys I can't like doing the thing. Saka's balling.
Yeah,
Saka's balling.
That was just a Saka cook session.
Yeah, like the touches on the back. Odegaard is for me is actually my player of the season. Like
you reckon?
Like okay.
He's had his peaks and troughs.
He has. Don't stamp that as like a forever, because I think underlying Gabriel and would probably.
Yeah, I think
if we win big trophies, exactly.
Saka.
But maybe I should say in this moment.
Yeah.
Since we've come back from Dubai.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable.
He's been unbelievable.
He's been the guy that's making things tick.
Regardless of even the G's and the A's, he's been balling for us.
But if he's gonna have that title, I need him to be that guy when we go to the Etihad.
Yeah. No doubt. No excuses as well. But I think, look, he's going to be fit. He's going to be available.
Yeah.
He plays 3 different positions for us.
Yeah.
And he is literally within the first 50 minutes, his fingerprints were everywhere in all of those goals. Yeah. And the game is done. You know, and he then runs around for another 90.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
his work off the ball every week is always top.
But I think Sheffield, man,
pathetic.
Yeah, they're
pathetic. Chris Wilder. Why would you choose this game? I loved it. But why would you choose this game to go forward at the back?
Yeah, they
played 5 at the back all season. Arsenal are in crazy foot, ripping everyone up, and you've chosen this game to go forward at the back. There hasn't been more of like a manager accepting, I'm
cooked.
Really fucked this up.
Then
subbing your captain after 16 minutes to bring on a centre back and go 5 at the back.
I agree with you that 4 at the back is a ridiculous decision, considering that you've normally been playing 5 at the back all season. You're at home versus a team that can rip you apart.
Do you think Thomas Frank's going to come to the Emirates on Saturday and play 4 at the back?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think as well, playing Trusty at left back, like it was equally as bad a decision as playing 4 at the back. Like to play him,
it's consequence from the consequence, isn't it?
What are we doing? He's getting what we
light work,
however he wanted it, man.
Yeah.
And like everybody's saying, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually, I did feel a tinge of my dad was saying it, like it's not even fun. You know, like there was a tinge of like it was fun. I loved it.
I saw someone tweet and say, someone called the RSPCA, man, this isn't good.
yeah. But in the game, when it was like 4-0, 5-0 at half time, I was like, all the jeopardy is gone.
I loved that.
I loved it. But I did feel a little bit of like, man, this is
Arsenal stressed me out too much.
This is crazy, the difference. Yeah. Like these
two teams are in the same league.
Yeah, exactly. And it made me feel as if like we need to up the levels in the Premier League. Like we can't be having,
because if that was a cup game, and Arsenal were going away to a League 2 side, or even a non-league side, it might not be 6-0.
That's and even if it was, that's how it happens in those cup games. Then Haaland and KDB get into, that's how it happens in a cup game. You can't really get on the other team. Like they're not Premier League quality.
Yeah,
but this is a Premier League quality side.
Well, they're not.
Well, they're not. But
they're in the Premier League. I think that's the biggest problem.
That's what I'm saying.
But they're in the Premier League.
It's a really bad look for Shef U. And I was saying that actually, I was saying to my friend Adele and my brother, like, they might have the record, and I'm just making this up, but they might have the record of a team to lose by the most margins. Like, they've lost
minus
8-0,
50 goal
8-0, 4-0, 6-0. Like, they've held so many beatings without scoring. Yeah, that's what you're saying, minus 50 goal difference. Like, they get smacked up literally everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And
at home, they don't even have to go anywhere.
It's bad.
It's bad, man.
It's bad.
It's bad. And look, they're gonna go back down. Burnley are probably gonna go back down.
That's confirmed.
And hopefully we get some decent teams come up from the Championship. But we'll move on to the other team chasing the title, Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. And there was big controversy in this game.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't really want to talk about. I don't really have too much to say on it.
Clear your lines, innit? Is that your
And I didn't even know this, but apparently the goal comes like 1 minute 58 seconds or something after the restart. So then I'm thinking you are kind of clutching at straws here. Like, you've had your opportunity to defend your box, you've had your opportunity to clear the ball. Even if they'd given Forest the ball back, if play still goes on for 3 minutes, Liverpool are still going to have another attack. And look, it swings and roundabouts, man. Like, that Tottenham game, Liverpool got robbed. That was one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. That was the Italian job.
That's the worst robbery I've ever seen.
And like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, so swings and roundabouts, you get your luck sometimes. But ultimately, like, it's not like that it was a penalty or a free kick or a gift. It's a good ball from McAllister.
But I will say, I do hate the arrogance of referees when they make a mistake. And there's just like, I guess, look, you can't show remorse. If you show remorse, like, you're done.
Yeah.
But he knows he's made a mistake, and like his arrogance for the rest of the game, giving people yellow cards and all this kind of stuff,
sending coaches,
sending coaches off and stuff, and it's like you're dying on that lie.
Yeah.
But I hear you. I don't blame him too much, because Nottingham Forest, like, clear your lines. Like, what were you doing?
And I think people who watch this podcast will kind of know that, like, I just don't like talking about VAR. Even when it happened in the Newcastle Arsenal game, we did our piece on it and whatever. But I don't think people tune into this podcast to hear us talk about VAR and the controversies and whatever. Look, ultimately, Liverpool got the 3 points. Whether they scored in the 98th minute, 99th minute, 5th minute, 10th minute, it was inevitable. We were watching the Chelsea game together.
Yeah.
We were looking at that score. We were seeing it go late. And I kept telling you, it's coming.
I will say there is an element of like, this always happens with fucking Liverpool. Like, as you said, we weren't watching the game, and I'm looking at my FPL app and I'm seeing 90 plus 5 0-0. And I'm like, oh, surely the ref is about to blow the whistle. Like, surely this game is done. And then you switch over and it's like 7 added minutes. They're in the 98th minute. Like, there is this whole song and dance with Liverpool. And it is very annoying. I'll admit, that's my hater hat on. Like, it is very effing annoying. And but I do give them a lot of credit, man. Like, they are the mentality monsters. Like, Klopp has done it again. He has pulled it out the bag. Like, those 3 points are huge.
Playing as a 6.
It can't.
What is Klopp on?
It can't work.
On? For the last 3 games, Joe Gomez has played as a 6. Conor Bradley's played right back.
Yeah. I'm seeing this Johnny Dan's guys. Yeah.
Bobby Clark started that game away at Forest. Like,
yeah.
And look, Forest had chances. Alanga had 2 chances. They should have scored both of them. Should have bagged both of them, I think. And look, I still don't think Liverpool are going to win the league, but they're getting very close.
Yo, I respect Liverpool so much for even being in this position. Like, I hate the song and dance that comes with Liverpool and like how Sky Sports portray it and all this kind of stuff. But I respect the mentality that Klopp instills in these players. Like, he really makes, as you say, these Conor Bradleys, these Jordan Dan guys, all these like young kids, and everybody feel as if.
But Joe Gomez playing as a 6. If that was Pep and John Stones,
it would be crazy.
The way we talk about that, like,
but he makes them he makes them believe as if they can hit new heights. Like, they can go on and take the juggernaut that is Manchester City, and that deserves a lot of credit. Like, obviously, I did call him the biggest loser on this podcast, but he does deserve a lot of credit for the groundwork that he puts in. And as you said, it's half tactics, half players willing to run through a brick wall for him. And even that is respectable, because in the middle of all of that is footballing quality and footballing brilliance and sort of understanding what makes people tick. And Darwin Núñez, who people have given a lot of stick to this season, and how many chances he misses and all of this kind of stuff. But another guy who will run through a brick wall for Jurgen Klopp, who's sort of paying back the trust
look at the players they've had out.
Yeah, Jota's out, Salah's out.
Trent's been out.
Yeah. Robertson's just come back.
Like,
Matip, they
would have
lost
thought
Matip earlier in the
yeah,
season.
exactly. You'd have thought if they'd lost those players, at this point of the season, you lose Salah, you lose Trent.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
Nunes has been out, just came back. Jota, like,
Gravenberch just dipped.
yeah,
even though he's a bum.
No one said it was going to be easy, but this is going to be some title race.
I do agree though with Gary Neville's point that I think it comes down to the big three playing each other.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, this weekend, Man City goes to Anfield.
Yeah.
They have a notoriously bad record at Anfield.
Yeah. 1 win for Pep, I think. Yeah.
Yep. And that was when no fans.
So
he hasn't actually gone to Anfield and won when there's been fans there. City haven't won there with fans since 2003.
Wow.
That's almost like Arsenal's record.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
way back when. To be fair, the games have always been of top. Coutinho, I remember all of those goals.
Yeah.
They've always been top quality.
Yeah. But when the City went there unbeaten and Liverpool went like 4-1 up, Mane wrapped it up in, Salah bagged, Firmino chipped one over the goalkeeper. Like,
I even remember the Champions League tie.
Yeah. Ox.
Yeah.
Like, lashed one in. Yeah. But I think, look, and I'm always one to say how tough it is to go to Anfield, especially we all know what Anfield's going to be like.
They're going to be up for Klopp's last day.
Exactly. Klopp's last hurrah. Last Klopp beat Pep game.
Yeah.
Last Liverpool match.
You're in a title race. You're
title
in a
race.
title race.
If they win that, they go 4 points clear of Man City.
Yeah.
Massive
with
game.
them to play us next.
Similar to the Arsenal-Liverpool game. And we were talking about how massive that was and if we could have fallen off in that game. But I do have a sneaky suspicion. I mean, it's the immovable. What is it? The irresistible force.
Yeah, and the immovable object.
Rodri's unbeaten streak. But I'm not even looking at KDB. I'm not even looking at Haaland. I'm not even looking at Foden. I'm just thinking, Rodri could just be like, we're not losing today.
I'm telling you, there is not a football fan who can call this game in the sense of like
any result could happen.
Any result could happen. I think Salah will be back.
And I'm including like Liverpool could be 3-0 up at
half-time. I agree with you. City could be 3-0 up by half-time.
No. I don't think that could happen. I don't think that can happen.
Okay, I'm telling you.
That would be unbelievable. But
Pep, is gonna come with him. And Pep, the problem Pep has, or the great thing about Pep is KDB, Haaland, these guys, Rodri, they live for these. Yeah. These are the games.
You think Rodri's going to be hiding from the ball?
Oh my god!
In that first 15 minutes when the Anfield crowd is on your neck, Rodri's going to be give it to me.
Live for these moments, and that's the issue. Is that's the reason I say City. Anything can happen, but City could be 3-0 up at half time is because if Liverpool are out heavy metal, press, and you have Haaland, you have Rodri, you have KDB, and you have space in behind. Yeah, it could be a demolition job. But equally, I agree with
Van Dijk and Konate, though.
It's gonna. No one can call this game.
Yeah,
no one can call this game, and I think Klopp is a psychopath. Pep is a psychopath. Klopp wants to win this game. It's his last hurrah. Pep wants.
No team's going to be playing for a draw.
Pep wants to burst Klopp's bubble and remind everybody that it's cute, but this guy is not on my level. Yeah. And Pep wants to do that. You see when Pep came out after the Carabao Cup saying, "Oh, when I win the Carabao, I win the Carabao Cup for years." No, like Pep is such a, he definitely always reminds you, "I'm that guy."
Yeah,
know, and I think that's what's going to make this a great game. Phil Foden, all these guys are bubbling, they're balling.
Salah's meant to be back in training.
I just it's going to be like a mouth-savoring tie. But that's the problem is sometimes these games are built up to be huge. And they are huge. But almost the football disappoints.
Not these Liverpool Man City games, though.
That's true.
These Liverpool Man City games previously have a lot of 2-2s.
Yeah.
A lot of like... And that's what I'm saying. Like, both teams are going to want to win the game.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be a stink fest. Like,
that's true.
When you got the players that those two teams have, in particular Man City, it can't be a stink fest. Man City can't play 3-2-5.
Who would you prefer to win if you had to choose a dog in that fight? For both yourself, maybe personal bias, as well as like for Arsenal.
The thing is, and I had this conversation with my dad a bit, that Man City maybe them weren't actually that great against Man United, but they obviously won their game.
Mm.
But when they play Arsenal, guaranteed that will be Man City's best performance of the whole season.
They up the levels.
Man City are going to be on.
Bernardo Silva, I know, is
going to
be on. He's not going to give the ball away.
Their presses get like when we played them last year. That was their best performance of at least league performance of the season. Their press is going to be on point. Their intensity is going to be off the charts. That is going to be Man City's best performance of the season without a doubt. And Arsenal just need to be up for that and be on the level to compete. So I don't think. Like people say, if Man City lose this game, they'll come into the Arsenal game with more motivation. If they win this game, they might come in. I think that Arsenal game's just a standalone game, regardless of what happens in this game.
So you'd prefer Liverpool? Because you think Man City are going to put in the performance versus us anyway?
Yeah. I don't think this game has any impact on... Man City are going to turn up in that game. Man City are going to play their best in that game. And Arsenal need to play their best if they're going to get something out of it. But... I think I draw. Really.
Do you know what I think?
Ideally,
I want to draw, but I think, and this is my tinfoil hat on, there is a huge Premier League push to give Liverpool something.
Yeah.
In that game, it would be better for Premier League football and Liverpool if City win that game versus Liverpool at Anfield.
It's probably done.
It's wraps.
It's probably done.
Nothing will stop them. We're not gonna go like whoever Partey's fit, whether Jesus is on form, whether Jesus has scored 5 goals in his last 2 games. It doesn't matter if City win at Anfield,
especially because for this City team, they haven't really experienced that of winning at Anfield, and like
it's over. They're not gonna get complacent after they win at Anfield.
No.
Like, they're not gonna, take a back step, rest on their laurels, cruise to, They're going to go for another treble or quadruple or whatever they could win.
That's why I think I would probably rather Liverpool win.
But I think Premier League. You know how there's always these NBA conspiracies with Adam Silver. I think the Premier League is going to push it into Liverpool's favor because everybody stands to gain more money, more everything if Liverpool win or a draw.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be one of those 2 results. Because it's over if Pep wins. So if there's a dodgy VAR decision, Michael Oliver points straight to the spot without a VAR replay, I would not be shocked. And that's half joking.
Yeah.
Half.
The thing is, the Premier League could do all of that, and Rodri could come up with a block like he did on Fabinho.
But I would prefer a Liverpool win because we can still go do the business versus City as well and really knock them out. But at the same time,
and I still think Liverpool can drop points in.
But I don't like the fact that we're asking Liverpool to drop points because they just go and win every game.
Yeah.
So half of us maybe would prefer a City win. You go and do your job versus City as well.
Because bro, if Liverpool beat Man City, they're really going to think yo,
you won't stop. Again, I do think the game is so monumental, man. And I do think our game versus City as well is equally as monumental.
Yeah. I mean, Gary Neville said it that Liverpool and Arsenal have to genuinely go into those games thinking we can beat them. He referenced Sylvain Wiltord when we went to Old Trafford and won it. Mark Overmars when he scored there. You have to go there and shock them
and do the
win,
things,
right? But I'm looking for. I think it's going to be a great game for football fans, football lovers. It's going to be a brilliant game to watch, I think. But we'll move it on to another team fighting for top 4, and they're getting the job done. They're showing all the signs of a team that can make Champions League football. Luton versus Aston Villa.
Yeah.
We watched most of this game. Ollie Watkins having an absolutely ridiculous season.
I'll tell you now, he's already my champ of the week.
Yeah.
Anytime he scores, he's probably going to be my champ of the week because it is a ridiculous season from Ollie Watkins. And Thierry was saying on MNF, it's not just the goals. Like Ollie Watkins could have 13 goals or 14 goals. It's the fact that he has double digits assists along with that. Solanke has 12 goals. That's a very impressive season. Yeah. Solanke has 12 and 10. Yeah. He's out of here.
Yeah.
He's commanding 60, 70 million in the market. It is so impressive. Ollie Watkins putting the team on his back in a sense, or just always being the danger man. For
just being a gunman,
for Aston Villa, and fair play to Emery because we did say that Villa were going to drop off, and they have, but they haven't dropped off.
They had a bit of a spell, but they bounced back.
And they've been more consistent than the teams around them, and the table is showing that.
And I mean, Luton obviously get the 2 goals back.
Yeah, make it dicey.
They have some chances to win the game 3-2.
Hey, Kenilworth Road is not easy, man. They don't.
And that's where Luton, in comparison to Sheffield and Burnley,
there's a difference.
They don't make it easy, man. There's stark contrast between the two of them. They make it difficult for you. And when you're playing at home and in your home atmosphere, you have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to stand any chance. And Luton, how many times they did it to Man United, they did it to Chelsea.
Yeah.
They might not always come away with the points and whatever, but they make it tough. And
they did it to us as well.
Yeah. And obviously Villa doing what teams need to do when you're fighting for that top 4 race. At this point in the season, you just need to pick up the 3 points, and those late goals are massive, man.
Like how that Nunes goal was a dagger for us. That Digne must have been a dagger for Tottenham fans.
Yeah, after they just beaten Palace.
Just the levels because we're in a title race.
Yeah. And that's going to tee that game up nicely. I mean, Sunday, any football fans out there, your Sunday's sorted.
Yeah.
You got Villa Tottenham at Villa Park first, and then you got Liverpool Man City. And that Villa Tottenham game, I'm almost as excited for that one as I am for the
I completely agree. One. I think that Villa Tottenham game is going to be a goal fest.
Yeah, both teams trying to play a high line.
That could end 4-4. Like 3-3, 4-3-2, 4-3. Like I think that is going to be a goal fest, and there's so much on the line.
And I think Villa getting that late win gives them a lot of confidence coming into this game.
And I think Emery's going to want to try and put Postecoglou in his place, and like you have some respect. I've been doing this.
Yeah, I mean he already beat him at
exactly. But I think he's going to try and say, hey, look, I've been doing this. I know you want this top 4 spot, but no.
And on that, we'll link it in with the Tottenham Palace game.
Yeah,
obviously Tottenham ended up winning 3-1 after Palace went 1-0 up. With an
unbelievable goal from Eze.
Great free kick, wrap that in, and then an awful mistake from Anderson, and then Lerma trying to flick it over Brennan Johnson in his own box, and then obviously that goes to 1-1, and then it's just Tottenham in the ascendancy after that. But bounce back for Tottenham after they lost at home to Wolves. They needed to come and win this game.
It's true,
and look, it tees up that massive fixture on Sunday.
It's true.
What's the gap between the two of them at the minute? I think it might be 5 points.
Yeah, literally. But Tottenham have a game in hand.
So if Villa win that's 8 points. If Villa win on Sunday.
And
Tottenham have got some tough fixtures. But if Tottenham go there and win, the gap's 2 points and Tottenham have a game in hand.
It's a mammoth game. And the narratives, Watkins, who's going to turn up, Son.
Yeah. Van der Ven's been playing well.
Yeah.
So yeah, Watkins up against
Leon
him.
Bailey, my guy.
Son, by the way, in that Tottenham game. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Could have had more goals, got unlucky, hit the post. But yeah, I mean, Son as a number 9, I don't want to see him
move back out
ever again.
Yeah, he's done.
Like, Son is a 9. And when you've got Maddison in the team, it works.
Yeah.
Because Son doesn't have to link the play. He doesn't have to drop deep and hold it up. The ball can just go into Maddison, and Maddison can find Son. But yeah, I think Son's got 13 goals.
That's big.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had a month away. He was injured for a bit as well.
He's got quite a few assists as well.
But Son, he's sort of been certified. I know last year was a drop off, but he's always kind of been a good player, and he's got his numbers.
Just lethal, innit?
Yeah,
he is. Even his finish, I don't know what the keeper's doing, but the keeper dived the wrong way. But you back Son 9.
Well, that's where, and this is another. To be fair, like that's why Sunday is going to be such a big game, because both teams are coming into this in form with something to play for, man. Yeah. And that's what you want in the Barclays Premier League at this stage of the season. Douglas Luiz, who's going to bust that midfield? Pape Sarr, Bissouma.
I'm hearing he's finding a bit of form.
Yeah, I don't know who's. Emery's been playing Tielemans. It's interesting.
His camera's out, isn't
it? Yeah. So
McGinn.
I
need John McGinn to grab this game by the scruff of the neck.
A McGinn screamer. That's in there.
Run over that Tottenham midfield.
I can see a Bissouma just casualness on the ball.
Yeah.
McGinn.
Crunch.
Crunch. Villa have the ball. Douglas Luiz first time pass. Watkins is away.
Yeah. Man. I'm looking forward to that, man. Sunday's gonna be good. But it'll only really be good if we do our job as well.
It'll be the best day ever if we do our job. And you can just sit back and see.
We have another 15 minutes like we did on Monday. But yeah, we'll move it on. Brentford versus Chelsea. Me and Michael actually watched this game together. And obviously Chelsea went 1-0 up. Brentford pulled it back. A great goal from Wissa.
Yeah.
Overhead kick. And the Brentford fans were actually booing at halftime. I didn't clock this when we watched the game.
No, Brentford were awful that first half, man.
But it shows you what the Brentford fans think, that they're booing because they're losing to Chelsea. And it shows you how far Chelsea have fallen.
I mean,
that the Brentford fans think it's necessary to boo because they're losing to
36
Chelsea.
points from Chelsea, 10 wins, 10 losses, 6 draws.
Yeah.
It's
and they actually played well in the first half.
Well, that's the thing. The first half, you thought it was all Chelsea. It was going all Chelsea's way, and like Brentford, you were like, oh man, Brentford are going to be down there.
Poch
like,
made the tactical change, and he played 5 at the back, and it was working.
Yeah, and Brentford, I can't lie, have been poor. I mean, Brentford have suffered a lot of injuries, like many clubs, but they've suffered a lot of injuries.
They got the whole back 4 out.
But Brentford were poor. But I like this is like any Thomas Frank team sort of stays in it, and they get 1 or 2 chances. And they take him.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
But definitely against Chelsea, there is this little bit of a bogey thing that's going on where Chelsea just can't seem to beat Brentford at all.
Yeah,
at all. And I don't know what to say about Chelsea, man. Like everything's been said. Obviously, you had Arman on last week, and sort of he articulated well. But I still don't know what to say about Chelsea. You have good players. You have a team that should be able to beat Brentford.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah, especially this Brentford.
Yeah,
if that was Brentford with Rico Henry, Ben B, Pinnock, Hickey,
Jensen didn't start. He's, like, shout out to Frank Onyeka. I thought he had a good game. I was talking about Frank, but with all the money that you spent, with the people who were still on the pitch, I feel like you've got the quality to beat Brentford. And I don't know whether it's just like an immaturity and mentality / Poch's tactics, like a blend of the two. But I don't think there's an excuse for that record, honestly. I don't think there is an excuse.
There isn't. And look, I said that I was surprised that Armand didn't come on and kind of send for me a bit.
About Poch.
Yeah. Because I can't really defend. I mean, I've defended Poch for 27. What is it? Episode 27. I've defended Poch for 27 episodes. At this point, there's not really anything more I can say. Like, Poch might just not be the guy for Chelsea. Yeah. I still think Pochettino's a good coach. I still think he can potentially do well. I think he could do what like a De Zerbi's doing or what a Gary O'Neill's doing. But obviously, it's just not working for him at Chelsea. But what I will say is that Chelsea season, in my opinion, is far from over. Like you look at that table, right? And I know you said 10 wins, 10 losses. They're on 36 points with a game in hand.
Yeah.
That game in hand is at home to Tottenham.
4 points off 8th, which is Newcastle.
We know how good their record is at Stamford Bridge against Tottenham. They could win that game and they go up to what? 10th?
Yeah.
And they play Newcastle on Monday night this week. So at home. So if they can win that game, and I know I'm saying a lot of ifs and buts and whatever, but the season's not over yet, man. Like we know firsthand from whenever we were in these like situations, kind of races, how quickly it can change.
No, it's true, and that I think, and that's a good point because I definitely remember. I remember that COVID year where we were like in and around 9th and 10th, but we were 4 points off 6th.
Yeah,
and it was like if we win this game and such lose on the weekend, we move all the way up to 5th.
Yeah.
But that was what was the most frustrating was we wouldn't win. We would lose to Watford, and we would like.
And the thing is, all those teams above Chelsea, including Villa and Tottenham, are gonna lose.
A couple more points.
Yeah, at least.
But the thing about Chelsea is, and I think that's what makes it even more frustrating, is go into those games versus Newcastle with 3 points in the bag. Don't drop 3 points to Brentford and then make Newcastle a must-win game. Go into Newcastle with 3 points in the bag, where if you come out with a draw, you still look good. Newcastle are tough games to go. Newcastle have to play Tottenham and all the rest. Yeah, like people above, you can sort of be in a situation where you can kick the can down the road and move up the table. But when you lose or draw to Brentford, you force yourself into these must-win situations. And to be fair, they turn up for big games.
The next game just gets bigger.
They turn up for big games, to be fair, but it shows the immaturity and it shows the lack of... And I can see this at the beginning of the season, Poch, because you do have a young squad, but at some point in the season, like there should be better game management. There should be better understanding of like, this is what we do in these moments. When we go 1-0 up at halftime and we're pressing on a team's neck, like somebody put this in the back of the net, make it 2-0, see this out. So look, I do think you make a good point. Like the season isn't over. They're 4 points off 8th.
Like looking at this table here, I think they have to go to Villa Park, and they've already won there. They beat them in the cup. They won 3-1. They have to play Tottenham at home, Man United at home, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying that, like, it'd be ridiculous for me to say Chelsea can win all those games based on what's going on in the season, right?
Yeah.
But if Chelsea win 4 out of 5 of those games against those 5 teams above them, that league table looks massively different.
And I agree with you, but the problem I have as well is Fulham are just a point behind Chelsea. Yes, they're playing.
Yeah, it could go the other way. If it starts going the other way, then Pochettino has to go.
If you lose to Newcastle, Muniz keeps
doing
Muniz Muniz keeps doing Muniz things. Then you're in a situation where it's like, and that's the problem with being in the middle of the pack is you are 4 points off 4th, 5 points off 6th,
15th.
But you're also 4 points, 3 points off being 15th.
Yeah.
And it's like you
so
have to take these wins.
The season's far from over.
Yeah.
Chelsea still have that ability to push
win
up the table.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it was poor. Speaking
on Muniz, I'll use that as a segue and a transition to Fulham versus Brighton. Fulham putting some nice results together, man. They went last week at Old Trafford, 3-0 win at home. They absolutely bossed Brighton.
22 years old, they said.
Muniz being a problem. It's his hard work for the first goal that Wilson bags, and it's a great header for the second goal. And yeah, Fulham are doing their thing, man. They're doing what they do every year.
This is such a Fulham.
Marco Silva. Always deserves his respect.
Always deserves the respect for sure, Marco Silva. But this is such a Fulham part of the season.
Yeah.
There's always a point in the Premier League season.
Win 3 on the bounce.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do deserve their respect for it. But there's also going to be a point where Fulham are going to lose 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
In this,
but a reason I say Marco Silva respect over any of those players is I think Marco Silva's a very good coach. And look at the way they strapped him in the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Mitro gone.
Yeah.
And Muniz is bagging now.
I don't think he's
how
had
much
a
of that
lot,
is because of Marco Silva.
I don't think he's had a lot to work with. Like, Willian is sort of his best player at the age of 34. He's that Vinicius guy never made the cut. They lost Manor Solomon to Tottenham as well.
Andreas Pereira's dropped off a bit this year, but Harry Wilson coming in.
Yeah. So they got Iwobi on deadline day, who's been crucial for them this season, and that's the reason they've sort of kept their head above water. So no, I agree, man. Fulham, they've done well to be more than relatively safe. And to be fair to Fulham, if we're saying the same thing about Chelsea, Fulham should be pushing into the top 8 positions. They're 5 points off 8th. Yeah, with Newcastle to play Chelsea.
Yeah,
I don't know who Fulham have on the weekend, but if you win those games,
I mean they got Wolves.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. A team above you, a team 2 points above you. If you win those games or 3 points above you, you start honestly pushing into what potentially could be European positions, Conference League positions.
Yeah, which would be unbelievable
with the team the team that he has.
Yeah.
If Muniz gets them into European, he has to be a top 10 signing of the
100%
of the season.
And in this upcoming international break, me and Michael will do an episode where we look back at our top 10 signings.
Yeah,
and we'll look back at what everyone said. Because not only did Doku make the top 10 wingers list, he made some top 10 signings.
I have a Howe in my top 10 signings.
The hype around Doku,
yeah, we never even go into it. He should be a dud of the week or rookie of the week.
I can't believe people were whacking him on the wingers list like that.
I myself
against Bournemouth.
I myself bought into the mania, but it's crazy because I don't think he puts in bad performances, but he's nowhere near the rave. He's nowhere near the rave. He's nowhere near like turning man inside out and putting it top bins.
Yeah.
Like
Kivior, he's nowhere near like a Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, if Doku's playing, I want Kivior on him. Like
But yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll recap our top 10 signings and stuff, and maybe discuss some of these things. But Everton versus West Ham, and Everton playing some good ball, man.
Yeah,
they should have been out of sight in that game.
Beto
could have been like 4-0. Beto missed a good chance. He missed a
penalty.
Dwight McNeil missed a sitter.
Yeah.
They had a lot of chances in that game to just be out of sight, and a proper smash and grab from West Ham. Proper away from home.
Ward-Prowse to Zuma.
Areola masterclass.
Yeah.
Souček.
Who knew he had that?
Unbelievable. What a goal that was.
Wiley texted me. I have to shout him out. I don't know about Souček's celebration. Mad suspect.
What was his celebration?
Like, he kind of just took off his shirt and started spinning around. I don't know how to, like, I'll show you
I
after.
need to watch it.
Mad zesty. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, look, when you score a goal like that,
Yeah,
I'm not going to get onto you.
You do what you want.
I'm not going to get
Winner,
onto you.
90th minute.
Away from home.
Yeah, I hear you. You haven't won a game all year.
Outside the foot.
Well, yeah.
Suchek will never... I haven't seen Suchek ever kick the ball with the outside of his foot.
Suchek is a synonym for sufferball.
Yeah. Suchek is... He's just a bleep test guy. He's just kilometers in midfield, KM in midfield, just rack up those numbers.
So
for him to
numbers of pressures
bouncing outside the foot, whew, top corner, 91st minute, have that.
That's so
celebrate that. However,
even the third goal,
yeah,
it's a great finish.
Good counter attack chip from Edson Alvarez. I mean, West Ham did not deserve that, but fair play, man. You just, like I said, most important thing at this time of the season is just picking up the 3 points.
That's funny.
And Everton go to Old Trafford on Saturday, the lunchtime kickoff.
Yeah, James Gardner, I need you. Rise.
I think they might have something for us.
Beto show.
No. I mean, Calvert-Lewin hasn't scored for 20 games apparently, but he needs to come back.
The suffer ball that they go through. Two people who never ever deserved the hype that they got were Calvert-Lewin and Tom Davies. Tom Davies?
Tom Davies.
They said that the start.
Calvert-Lewin, I can understand.
I can understand.
Under Ancelotti.
Yeah, did his thing.
He was looking...
Done enough.
Yeah.
Done enough to have a name. Tom Davies?
Yeah.
They're saying that was his first start versus us on Monday.
Yeah.
If you're not breaking into that Sheffield United team, mate.
But I don't know Tom Davies. I can't say I've ever met Tom Davies, but Tom Davies strikes me as a guy who's not serious about his football.
Yeah, well, I saw the mohawk and it said it.
Yeah. You know the trim he's got now.
It said it all.
And him and Calvert-Lewin were doing the fashion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was on GQ. He was doing all this kind of stuff. And
bro, I remember when Bellerin was planting trees for every win that Arsenal got and stuff. It was like, bro, look, and that's why the Rashford thing. I'm not getting onto Rashford, but bro, if you want to release these statements, just bag goals.
Put some performances.
All the fans care about is what you do on the pitch.
Yeah, put some performances in.
And if you perform on the pitch, everything else will be forgiven. We'll move it on. Newcastle versus Wolves. Good win for Newcastle. They needed that.
Yeah.
They needed to bounce back. Good 3-0 win at home. When Isak plays, he scores.
Isak, I'm not going to lie. All of Arsenal's transfer business talk, Isak would probably be my number one option.
No.
I think.
Do you remember we had this conversation and I was like, my thing with Isak is that he reminds me a lot of Aubameyang in that he can bag those goals, but the hold-up play, big stadiums away from home. Do you remember we had that conversation?
I do.
And I didn't get the chance to mention it because obviously our mom was on the pod, but that Newcastle game, perfect example, right? Newcastle.
That's Gabriel Saliba.
So?
Come on.
It's going to be Isak against Van Dijk and Konate.
That's a tough ask to play Havertz in that game. Together they rise.
Yeah, all right. So if we're getting Isak to do the Eddie thing, then yeah, cool. We can run that one. But that game, Arsenal full court press on Newcastle.
He's just come back from injury as well.
Walking it long, looking for an outball, looking for an outlet, hold it up, relieve some of the pressure, and Isak nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
Let's see what Isak's goal tally's saying.
No, look, bro. I started this conversation because I wanted to give him his props.
Okay, go on.
I started the conversation with when Isak plays, he scores. But
that's true.
But he's not. For me, I don't think he's the guy Arsenal need because I see a lot of Aubameyang in him.
I know what you mean, but
I love Aubameyang. I'm one of Aubameyang's
exactly.
fans. But to do what we need to do at the highest level, if we go to the Etihad, I don't know how many problems Isak's causing them, man.
So Isak, 11 goals.
Yeah.
This year,
and he's probably only played 11 or 12.
That's what I'm saying. Long stints out injured. The reason I mess with Isak is because he's got the height. It seems like clearly we're looking for a guy who's 6'2", plus 6'1", plus something that can add us a different element. He's obviously tidy with his feet, nimble enough to press, and he's always bagged goals. He's always bagged more goals than Jesus has bagged in the time that they've been in the Premier League together.
He's 6'2", but he's not a target man or anything.
He's not target man. He could definitely work on his...
He's not really a hold-up guy.
Yeah. To be fair, do we need that? Jesus does that. That's 6 foot. We need a finisher. And we need somebody who can also still add dimensions. And if you're saying he's a Aubameyang guy, you're saying he can play two positions. You know,
but
Arteta loves a two-position guy.
ideally, and this is very hard to find, maybe near on impossible, but ideally, you have the 6'2", 6'3" guy with hold-up play, with pace, with goals. That's ideally the profile.
The only person I think of, and this is a crazy shout, is Evan Ferguson.
Victor Gyökeres.
Don't bring that here. Don't bring that here, man. I'm not taking a risk on that guy. And he can't, we spend, Sporting Lisbon fleece us 60, 70 mil. And he has 5 goals in.
Mikel wants Victor Gyökeres. I want Victor Gyökeres.
Let's see what Mikel says. I know Mikel's not going for anybody that's not played football in the Premier League.
Hey, Victor Gyökeres has played Championship.
Yeah, it's not the same. And I rate Championship ball. But to your point, to Newcastle's point, good win. Like, I don't know what to say about Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe's going to go, honestly. I think he's going to go in the summer regardless of what he does. I think they're looking to up the gears. And I think they've been unlucky this year.
Eddie Howe can't go.
What he's
that's a violation. Look at what he's done with this Newcastle team.
You're saying that like Eddie Howe's done like
bro, he had them playing Champions League ball.
Where did they finish in that group?
Look at the group. Where did you expect them to finish?
They could be better than Milan. They could have gone in
Rafa Leao. You saw what he was on when he came to
they could be better than Milan. They could be better than Milan. And they beat PSG at home. They did the hardest thing.
Rafa Leao was one of the best wingers in the world.
They beat PSG at home. It was right there for them.
They got robbed in Paris.
Dortmund, yeah.
They got robbed.
Dortmund had 0 points by game week 3. finished.
Bro, that was
with the first one to go through.
Newcastle's first time in the Champions League in like 20 plus years. Yeah. To say Eddie Howe should go is out. Bro, Newcastle.
What is it?
What if Newcastle get Europa League? Eddie Howe needs to go.
Yeah. You need to up the levels.
That's crazy talk.
You've seen what? Look, it's not to say that Eddie Howe's done a bad job. He's kept them stable.
Eddie Howe's done an unbelievable job.
He's made mountains out of molehills. Almiron. He's turned these guys around.
Willock.
He's done a good job.
Joe Linton.
He's done a good job. But
Fabian Shaw.
Honestly, let's be serious. Is Eddie Howe better than Emery? Is Eddie Howe better than De Zerbi and all of these guys who are going to finish above him? Is Eddie Howe better than Postecoglou?
Well, Eddie Howe finished above all of them last year.
Yeah, he did.
He still might.
When things were bleak. But now
De Zerbi ball was bleak last year.
And I'm saying
every ball was bleak. Nah.
And I'm saying that Newcastle so clearly want to be a team that's going to break into the top 5 consistently. And I don't think Eddie Howe is the manager that is going to get you to that level.
Does he not deserve the chance?
Well, you could lose out. Get Tuchel in. Get somebody in. Tuchel would take that job. Why not?
Newcastle won't get.
They pay him the money. They give him the reins.
Yeah, but they're restricted by FFP and stuff. And
they've got a decent enough squad.
To go from Eddie Howe ball, I know they've conceded some goals, they've lost some games, but to go from Eddie Howe ball to Tuchel ball, you bring back Rafa.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Like my point is, there's going to be a lot of good managers out there in the market, and you're going to show loyalty to Eddie Howe, who will deliver a 7th place finish with a lot of smiles on his face and say
European football for the 2nd season,
and say that he's done a great job.
Before Eddie Howe, we know where this Newcastle.
No, they were poor, but that was before the money. That was before the injection. Eddie Howe has been a great baton man. He's been a great guy. He's been a great guy to pass the baton on to somebody else.
That's what people used to say about Arteta, you know.
Well, Arteta's proved them wrong.
Because we gave him the chance.
He's consistently delivered. Eddie Howe is not breaking into that.
Look, Eddie Howe might not be. You sound like Gary. You know when Gary Neville was like, if Mikel Arteta gets top 4, he should leave. That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like with Eddie
Clip
Howe
me.
Right,
that's not the. I would take that risk.
But look, Eddie Howe might not be that guy. But there's no might. He deserves the chance.
I think he deserves a good job in the Barclays Premier League, for sure. But I think if Newcastle want to break into the regular top 5 positions, you're going to need a sharper man at the cockpit than Eddie Howe, who's done a great job. It's been fantastic.
Is Gary O'Neill better than him?
Nah. Eddie Howe's proved more. He's proved himself more than Gary O'Neill. But watch this space.
Look,
Gary O'Neill might finish above Eddie Howe, and I'll start saying something different.
We'll move on because that's just nasty from Michael. Send it for Eddie Howe after his team's just won 3-0. Nasty.
I was just saying, Newcastle fans. Let's see the Newcastle fans comment below. Let me know what you think about Eddie Howe. And if
I'll
you,
clip this and I'll put it on TikTok.
yeah,
And I'm sure the Geordies never shy away from voicing their opinion, so I'm sure they'll come. But Anthony Gordon, 9 goals, 8 assists in the league this year. His record at St James's Park is unbelievable. I think he's either scored or assisted.
he's been balling.
almost
To be
every
fair, shout out
game
to
at
Eddie
St
Howe.
James's Park. Say that again.
Eddie Howe took a chance on him. Chelsea were gonna splash 80 mil on him. Eddie Howe going for a snip.
And Eddie Howe's made him one of the best wingers in the league.
Yeah, he's been balling. But I do think that he got, like, the luckiest thing that happened to Anthony Gordon was that Harvey Barnes got injured.
Yeah. But I think Anthony Gordon's probably better than Harvey Barnes.
He is now. But at the beginning of the season, Harvey Barnes was going to eat up those minutes, and Anthony Gordon was going to get 20 minutes.
He probably would have played both of them.
Yeah.
Because Almiron's not eating up anyone's minutes.
Almiron is done.
That's another. Bro, Eddie Howe. What was Almiron on last season?
Yeah, but where is he now? Where's the consistency, Omano?
Bro, he's been a role player.
Where's the consistency? How about some goals?
That's nasty for me, man. That's nasty. But on the Wolves side, obviously, I know they lost. They're not going to be happy, but they are through to the FA Cup quarter-final. They've got a home game against Coventry, a chance to go to Wembley. Great chance to go.
I'd love that for Gary O'Neill.
Yeah. To go to Wembley, potentially play Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea, whoever it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the start of the season, we often talk about where Wolves are now, but at the start of the season, if we had said that Gary O'Neill's going to take the Wolves team to Wembley,
he's still fine for a European place. He's above Fulham, who we said could get there.
Yeah.
Like,
just dust yourselves off and move on from this one. And then lastly, last game of the weekend, Burnley versus Bournemouth. There's really not too much to say on it. I'm bored of talking about Burnley. I'm genuinely so bored of it, man. Like, it's just the same old shit, same old story, Groundhog Day every fucking week. At home, Vincent Kompany complaining about some decisions, and Burnley. I mean Bournemouth. Sorry, the first win of 2024.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like you say, Semenyo doing his thing, Justin Kluivert scoring.
Yeah.
And man, I think Burnley are just
get Burnley and Sheffield out of it quick time. You know, I was honestly thinking that there should, and I said this in the chat, like halftime in that Sheffield game, we should be able to just shake hands and be like, right,
let's double the scoreline.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Let's save the running around, and it becomes a dog and pony show. You know, quite literally.
But yeah, that's it for the weekend's fixtures. MVP and Rookie of the Week.
MVP is all right. I said Ollie Watkins. I'm gonna give Arteta an MVP because he's been spot on.
Yep.
For the past few games, I'll give Souček an MVP for sure because it is a nasty finish. Like, it's tidy.
Phil Foden
for sure gets an MVP.
Wissa.
To be fair, Wissa, Nunes, Klopp. I think that is
anything outside of football.
That's pretty big for them. LeBron James, 40,000 points. 40,000 career points, 10,000 rebounds.
What ended up happening in the Celtics Warriors game?
Oh man,
did they pull it back or did they?
No, it ended like 140 to 80, or like it was
so they made it up because
140.
80, yeah, but at half time it was 80. 83 to like
it was done
as
a content. You know, that was the game. That was the game on TV. It was so funny because that was the game on TV, and I'm gonna give the NBA Rookie of the Week because the game on TV was Celtics Warriors, but I have the NBA pass, League Pass, and they had the Clippers Timberwolves on the League Pass. Came down, Clippers won by a point. Came down to the very last seconds.
So you couldn't watch the.
Well, I watched the game on the League Pass, but I was like, this game was on TV for everybody to see. It was done as a contest. But it was on TNT. It was done as a contest.
But to be fair,
I hear it. Yeah, Steph,
it's a
Tatum,
one, right?
Yeah. But no, Adam Silver. You should know who the real hoopers are these days.
Yeah, true.
You know,
I'll give an MVP to Marco Silva.
Yeah,
just steady with Fulham. Fulham's aim at the start of every season is probably don't get relegated.
Yeah.
And Marco Silva's matching that. And then I've been wanting to give this rookie out for a couple of weeks. And I just kept forgetting.
Noni
Madueke and Carney Chukwuemeka. Now, I'm going to be careful with what I say here because I'm a big supporter of players coming out and
having a personality,
being who they are.
Yeah.
Like I love it in the NBA.
Yeah.
They got KD, but we got Jaden McDaniels. Like I love that stuff, right? And I want to see players do it more. But if you play for a big club, right,
there's a certain way,
and you're meant to be competing at the top, and you're not there, right? You're very far off where Chelsea Football Club should be. And again, they've been put in this position. The Chelsea PR team has come in and said you have to do this and whatever. But and that's on Chelsea, that's on Bowley, that's on whoever. Because there's no way Poch is saying do these kind of interviews.
Poch doesn't know this is going on for sure.
Yeah. But I just can't be hearing Noni, Madueke, and Cardi talk about what they want from a girl on her first day, and they don't want us to ask
just
too many questions.
Takes us,
play it chill. Yeah, we'll see where we go.
Do you know what I say?
What's your type? And bro, this ain't Love Island. You lot ain't YouTubers.
To quote an NBA term, no vets.
Yeah.
Who the veterans?
Yeah.
In the changing room. Yeah. You got Thiago Silva, who doesn't speak a word of English, goes home to his wife. And you got what? Chalobah. That's their big bro.
Yeah.
like Reece James is big bro over there.
And I actually like both of those guys as players. I think what we saw from Carney at the start of the season, he looked and at quite Villa. Smooth, he had a bad injury. And Noni, whenever he's come on, even when he came last season, I thought, this guy's showing a glimpse of something. But Chelsea are in their banter era. Let's get it right.
No doubt.
You're in your banter era. And the last thing you want in your banter era...
Chile is a vet.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Bro, I can't be having... Bro, those videos of Aubameyang and Lacazette.
That's what Chelsea
and this
are.
Is even worse.
That's what Chelsea
if
are
I'd
right
been
now.
Hearing Lacazette say, I'm taking my girl Nobu. Bro, I don't need to know that, man. I'm happy to know
those
that
snaps
if you're
of,
winning on the pitch.
Those snaps of Lacazette saying Aubameyang looks like Travis Scott.
Yeah. Playing like Beebs in the Trap.
PTSD. I got PTSD.
So Noni and Cardi, you have to get it for that. Because I genuinely couldn't believe what I was watching.
I got one more rookie of the week. I'm gonna give it to Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Because I already know he's gonna lose this fight.
You think so?
I don't actually think so, but I just know AJ has a bottler gene in him, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose this fight.
But would it be a bottle if he lost it?
I don't think you should ever be
like Ngannou is like really a boxer, isn't it?
No, he's not. Well, he's just a guy who has knockout power.
How many UFC fights did he win by submission?
But that's what I'm saying. AJ, to be fair, AJ is kind of Ngannou, but just not Ngannou because he wasn't also a boxer.
You know what I'm saying?
But AJ's been doing boxing for time, Olympic, gold Olympic, whatever medal he won the Olympics, all that kind of stuff. If you really let this guy come and piece you up, I think that's a rookie of the week.
Because a lot of people, Ngannou fought Fury, innit? A lot of people said that.
Yeah, Ngannou did well in that.
Ngannou maybe won that fight.
But AJ, for always ducking the big fight, but for always talking the loudest, he accepted like the LeBron James role of UK boxing.
Yeah.
And has never actually, I felt like, lived up to the LeBron James. He's not on 40k points with 10,000 with 10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists. Like, he's ducking the guys, and then he's losing to the scrubs, and then he's talking the most. Bismillah.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm preempting the rookie of the week because I just know AJ's going to be on some AJ bullshit this weekend.
Fair. But I mean, we'll revisit that. We'll revisit that next weekend. But yeah, that's it from us this week. Spoken about every game, and title race is heating up. We've said ever since we started this podcast.
Tune in next week, man. It's
you want to hear me and Michael get a bit more heated. Nick, we saw Nick on the weekend. Nick was saying he wanted to see some more arguments.
Yeah.
Maybe that might come. I do have an episode planned where maybe you might see me and Michael get into a bit more. but it is March.
It's March, yeah.
Right. 11
Early
games
March.
left. So after we play the Brentford game, it'll be 10 games left in the season. The running is here. Crunch time is here.
They've started on Sky Sports. Race for the title.
Yeah. The fixtures list coming out.
Yeah, every
play. We'll be here. We'll be here every week putting out the content. So tune in. We're on 35 subscribers on YouTube. We've got like 19 followers on Spotify.
Nice.
If we can hit 50 subscribers,
much appreciated.
That'll be. I would say that's a very successful first year of podding.
A nice campaign.
So yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's just one click of the button. And if you are subscribed, shout out to everyone that's watching. Shout out to all the people that leave comments in the section below. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace.
Definitely. Peace.